Hello, everybody. Welcome to Elite Weather. I'm meteorologist Dula Godot with you once again on your Tuesday afternoon. So, guys, I hope you're having a good day today. And we're going to talk about the next round of severe weather that's anticipated across the Ohio Valley and parts of the upper Midwest today. So, let's jump into our first map. But before we do that, let's talk about our channel maintenance. And I'm on TikTok and I'm on YouTube. And if you're on TikTok or YouTube, you can watch me there. And you can subscribe to me on YouTube and likes and comments. Interact with the channel. Same thing with TikTok. TikTok, you can follow the channel and your likes and comments or whatever you need to say. You can do it there as well. So let's jump into that first map. Okay, so what we're going to talk about now is our surface features and the radar. They're overlaid, so we got some rain showers that's extending down to the Gulf Coast and to the states of Mississippi and parts of Alabama through Tennessee. We got some rain showers here near just west of the Appalachians, so right around Nashville, maybe just to the west of Nashville. We got some showers and thunderstorms across that region. And then we have some more showers and thunderstorms that extend in from eastern Tennessee across Kentucky, Ohio, and into Michigan, and parts of southern Canada and northwestern Wisconsin, northeastern Wisconsin, the upper peninsula of Michigan, and southern Canada. So we're seeing some rain showers and some embedded thunderstorms with that activity. And we also have some rain. Our area of low pressure is right here, our upper level low, that's responsible for all of the severe weather that we're going to be seeing in the Ohio Valley and the tremendous amount of severe weather that we saw over Oklahoma and Kansas and parts of the plains yesterday. But we will be seeing that shift to the east, to the Ohio Valley today, into parts of the south central U.S., the southeastern U.S., and the Mississippi, the lower Mississippi River Valley. We're going to be seeing some of that rainfall. Still some snow showers falling through parts of the Rockies. Here we are through into the month of March of May, and we're still talking about snow showers over Colorado, Utah, northern Utah. We're also seeing some snow here across parts of Montana and Idaho. We're seeing some snow showers. A few rain showers across the Pacific Northwest in and around Seattle. We're seeing some rain showers there in the Puget Sound down to the Oregon border. Some rain showers down there for you folks near Portland and Eugene. So you're going to be seeing some rain showers. Dry weather over California today and dry weather across the Southwest down through Texas. We're looking at a dry day today, and we're going to be looking at a mainly dry day here across the plains. So our temperatures are getting pretty warm out there. We're looking at a lot of 80s down here across Texas and along the Gulf Coast. We're seeing some 80s. Some temperatures getting close to 90 there by near San Angelo, Texas, with a temperature of 89, and we're looking at temperatures in the upper 80s here across the state of Florida. But we're seeing 70s across the upper Midwest here in the Ohio Valley, and we're seeing 70s and 60s there into the Northeast New England. We're seeing 60s and temperatures in the 50s. It's 69 degrees actually currently here in St. Paul and Minneapolis. So we're looking at those temperatures near 70 today, and we're going to be seeing those temperatures a little bit cool here along the lakes there, Lake Superior, maybe parts of Lake Michigan. We're going to see temperatures there in the 50s and 60s across northeastern Wisconsin and into northern Minnesota is where we're going to see our cooler spots. And it's going to be pretty cool there across the Rockies as we still have temperatures in the 40s and 30s in some areas and still picking up some snow at this time. All right, so now that we're still dealing with a lot of severe weather, let's talk about one of the main ingredients for severe weather, and that's humidity. Here is our dew points, and you can see where that frontal boundary is right about there. is where our cold front is. So you can see the abundance of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico across these along the Gulf Coast here. So look at Louisiana, Texas. You see those dew points in the 70s along the Gulf Coast, and when you see those dew points into the mid 60s as far north as Michigan, and even into parts of so this is where our warm front is. Clearly you can see that demarcation zone, so you can see this is where our low pressure center is right there, because you can kind of see that curve there with those dew points, and where the warmer, higher dew points versus drier air, where the cooler dew points are here coming down out of Canada and across the Rockies. You see the lower dew points. So that's drier air, but this is where our warm, soupy, moist air does. That's where our thunderstorm juice is for today. Here is our 24-hour temperature change. We saw temperatures in the 70s here yesterday, and look at this, the difference 24 hours can make. Look at, it's much cooler today compared to yesterday across Wisconsin and northern Minnesota. It's 7 degrees colder than yesterday here at, I believe that's in Barris, Minnesota. Duluth is also 7 degrees colder than yesterday, and we're looking at 10 degrees colder there across, maybe I think that's Milwaukee, where it's 10 degrees colder than it was yesterday. So we're definitely seeing a little bit of colder air moving into parts of the upper Midwest, and that's because of that upper level low pressure center that's moving over that area, and that's going to be bringing colder air across the upper Midwest. So that's going to make things a little bit cooler for a few days, as we do have a change in the upper air pattern that we're going to talk about later in this video. So here is our current heat index. Heat index is when the temperature, the heat feels warmer than what it probably is, and this is where it is. We're looking at areas where the New Orleans, the heat index is 93, even though the temperatures are actually in the 80s. Because of the high dew points, it feels warmer than it is, so it feels like you're wearing a heavy jacket out there if you're in New Orleans or Houston. Look at the dew point down here across South Texas. 95 there, 92 in Beaumont, so you can see where that heat index is making a play. 93 in Shreveport, 92 here in Little Rock. Heat indexes are really coming in. That's good because of that higher humidity. So those temperatures in the 80s with dew points in the 70s going to make heat indexes in the 90s. Here is the winds across the country. You can see where it's windy because we have that low pressure center up here across the upper Midwest, and that low pressure center is bringing in cooler, drier air, heavier, drier air coming out of the leeward side of the Rockies. So that air is sliding down the hill, the mountainside toward the high plains. So we're seeing winds in the 40-mile-per-hour range here across parts of Wyoming and into Idaho and western Montana. So we're seeing windy conditions and a little bit breezy here across the upper Midwest because of thunderstorms and our storm system in the area. So we're seeing a lot of winds out there because of changing air masses. Here is our satellite. You can see that moisture plume, our water vapor imagery here. This is that moisture coming up off of the Gulf of Mexico, and there is that low pressure center up here. You can see it right there, and you can see that more moist air getting pulled into the area of low pressure right here across the parts of the Ohio Valley and down through the Tennessee Valley to the Gulf Coast. So we got lots of clouds and moisture out there today. So we have our radar watches. We have a tornado watch here across Indiana and Illinois. So Chicago, also a severe thunderstorm warning in place just west of Chicago near Dixon, Illinois, and we have rain showers and thunderstorms. Another severe thunderstorm warning here across along the border of Ohio and Kentucky. We have a severe thunderstorm in that region. So here is the severe weather threat or reports from yesterday, from May 6th to the 7th. This is the severe weather. So numerous severe weather reports occurred yesterday. Numerous tornadoes. We had hail, damaging winds, heavy rain that led to flooding. So numerous events took place between the 6th and the 7th across the Midwest yesterday. Here is your severe weather forecast for today. So tonight into your Tuesday night, this is where we see that risk. So we have a marginal risk for severe weather across Texas and into Arkansas and Mississippi, Alabama, maybe parts of eastern Tennessee and the Carolinas. So areas east, marginal risk, but we do have a slight risk, and then there is an elevated, a moderate risk in this region across the Ohio area. So Columbus and Detroit, Chicago, Knoxville, and Louisville, and Indianapolis. You guys are under that moderate risk for severe weather today, and we're expecting tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail and heavy rain that could lead to some flooding is going to be the threats for today. So all severe weather modes are going to be possible with that event today. And this is what we're going to see tomorrow. Again, we have a level 3 severe threat across the lower Ohio Valley into the Tennessee Valley down towards Ozark. So Arkansas, East Texas, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina is where we have at least a scattered severe weather threat tomorrow. Isolated severe threat in the Northeast. So upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, New Jersey, and parts of Pennsylvania, we have a slight risk, a marginal risk for severe weather tomorrow. So Thursdays, that front shifts to the east, so that severe weather threat east and south as well. So the severe weather will concentrate from Texas and along the Gulf Coast to the Gulf Coast to the southeast. So from Pennsylvania down to Georgia, Florida, North Florida, and along the Gulf Coast into Texas is where we're going to see the threat for tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, and heavy rain. Well, less of a threat for tornadoes in this region, but damaging winds, heavy rain, and large hail is going to be the primary threat. But there is an isolated tornado threat. So we're going to see a change in the pattern here. So, and that's some good news. So good news is it's going to stay warm in the south because that front is not going to pass all the way through. That front is going to get down to probably the East Coast and the Gulf Coast and hang out there and stall before retreating as a warm front upon the arrival of any other systems coming from the west. That's going to lift it back up as the warm front. So that's going to shift through the continental U.S. to Florida before stalling and eventually probably washing out. So we're going to see this front shift through. We're going to see things turn a little bit cooler across the north and the east, but the southeast and the Gulf Coast is going to remain on the warm side along the immediate Gulf Coast. So Atlanta, Memphis, and areas like that are going to continue to see those temperatures in the 80s. But if you're in Chicago, Detroit, Minneapolis, if you are in Indianapolis, Cleveland, if you're in the Ohio Valley, the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, temperatures in the 50s and 60s you're going to see as we head into the upcoming weekend. So a cool down is going to be in store across the northern tier of the country as we head through the week and into the weekend. And what that also is going to do is it be responsible for, we're going to see a nice warm up on the west. Look at Seattle getting up to 80 on Saturday, 81 in Seattle on Saturday, 81 in Boise on Saturday, and we're going to see temperatures in the 80s down in Vegas, 90s, maybe even a 100 in Phoenix as we head into the weekend. Might be close to the first 100 for the year in Phoenix, Arizona. So we're going to keep an eye for that potential. So we're going to see high pressure build in to the west, and what that is going to do is cause for a temporary lull in severe weather across the plains. We will still see the potential for severe weather across the east, but less severe weather across the Midwest and the plains for a time while we have that upper level ridge building in out to the west. So we're going to lose that trough in the west. That trough is going to slide to the east, and the ridge is going to build in the west. So it's going to warm things up out there, but cool things down out to the east, where we saw things warm up nice in the east. But we're going to see a flip-flop in the pattern. So warmer out west, cooler in the east as we get into Saturday and Sunday. So that is your weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Dooley Godot, wrapping things up for you. Have a great day, everybody, and be safe out there if you are contending with severe weather. If not, have a good afternoon, and I will see y'all in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.